And welcome back to another episode of Barbershop Talk Like This. I'm your host, Trey the Barber.
Co-host Kush in the building.
And today in the building, we got my man, stand-up comedian, actor, Instagram and Vine star, Mr. Alphonso McAuley. How you doing, bro?
Yo, what up, y'all?
Chris, let me get the
I'm
cord.
good. I'm good.
What's good, Alfonso?
Yo, we out here chilling. You know what I'm saying? What's up? Good people in the house.
So today, let me plug this in. Dice, you with us? Can you turn
Turn your phone all the way up.
All right, so today, Dice is actually celebrating his birthday. He is
happy
out
birthday,
in
Dice.
Palm Desert, right?
Good looking. Yeah. I'm in Palm Springs, yeah.
That's what's up, man. So anyway, just so you know, Alfonso, we have a couple things that we do here on our show before we jump our show out.
Okay.
First thing we do, we thank the Lord for waking us up this morning,
That's what's up.
allowing each and every last one of us to be here, and just continue to keep us blessed in our endeavors and everything that we do in life.
Yeah.
In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Now, the second thing we do is we have a shot.
Ha! Man,
Every Sunday morning.
man, I don't even.
I don't even
I mean,
be
it's, you know,
drinking.
I mean, I do.
I don't even
I
be
mean, I don't
drinking.
even be drinking.
I don't even.
You don't drink it
I
all?
don't even. I don't even. Man, they gonna be like, Alfonso don't drink.
Okay.
Everybody.
You can have a shot of water then. We'll make
Shot
it
of
a
water?
shot.
You wanna go with a shot of
Yeah,
water?
we do shots of
shot
water
of
for
water.
those
Do
who
a
don't
shot
drink.
of water. Let me do a shot of water. It's the shot that counts.
Right.
That's
It's
all
the
that
shot that
counts.
counts.
You know,
Exactly.
you're
As
not
long
you're
as
not-
you
you're not-
shot.
You're not the first guest that came
Well,
through
you
that didn't
should.
drink, so you know.
Ah.
We have to
You want a
respect,
shot?
we got to
Yeah.
respect what people do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, first of all, I just want to thank you, brother, for
Of
getting in
course.
here, man. We've been trying to make it happen for a
I
minute.
know, man.
You are a very, very, very busy individual,
Yeah.
man, and I'm
Very
not mad
funny.
at you, man. Like,
Thank you.
yo,
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
no doubt.
Appreciate it.
now originally,
I'm glad he finally made it in and didn't have to do the phone call like how I gotta do right now.
salute.
Salute.
Salud.
You should have been born on another day.
Oh shit.
Or you should have went next weekend.
There you go. Anyway, so now you were originally born in New Haven, Connecticut, right?
Yes.
But you were raised here in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Now, how old was you when you moved here?
I was like 6 going 7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and-
So that was interesting, man, because at that time that was late 80s, so it was like
Yeah,
like-
that was the height of the gang movement,
Hey,
and
cuz,
crack
it
war,
was
and all
heavy.
that shit. Yeah, ooh.
Right.
Had to be tough. You know what I'm saying? So, well, growing up out here, did you have both parents growing up?
Yes.
Oh, see? Yeah,
Yeah.
you was a
Yeah,
lucky one,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
There's a
yeah.
lot,
Fortunate.
a lot of niggas
Yeah,
out here,
fortunate.
especially
That
out
didn't.
here, didn't have that.
Nah,
So
I feel you.
he was a
Look,
lucky one. And,
what made them want to move out? Did they want to move out here because they knew that you was going to be an actor, or did they just move because they just wanted to move?
No, it was actually number one was the weather. 'Cause
That'll do it.
Right.
My
right,
father was like,
right.
"It's so cold in Connecticut, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it drops to the point where that cold be like stabbing your bones. You like, yo,
y'all had to be like the only
Yeah.
black people in Connecticut
right?
too,
Well,
right?
No, it's actually and that was the.
It was like
second
5
reason-
more.
No, it was like 6 more. No, man. No, but the other reason was the violence, yo, because like
In Connecticut?
yeah,
In New Haven?
it's crazy because they would call it pistol waving New Haven, like cats was
Wow.
getting,
Yeah, y'all got them Cape Verdeans out there acting the
yeah,
fuck up.
yeah. I mean, it was.
That's
I
like
mean,
Rochester in Massachusetts. The Cape Verdeans.
Yeah, cats was getting blasted up out there. So like my parents was like, yo, we gotta roll because the demographics is like Yale University is like
You
right, in
right
the
there
middle.
with me.
He right there with
Yeah. No, I was gonna say. So y'all moved from
New Haven.
Right.
where
Los
they get blasted
I
to
know.
Los
Right.
Angeles.
No, that's
Where
what,
you get
that's,
blasted?
that's what I was
Way
getting
right
to.
there.
That's what I was getting to. Because my parents, when they
Right.
came out here, they was like, yo, we found a nice African American community. You know what I'm saying? I was like, what? I was like, okay. They was like, Compton. We actually moved to Compton. That's what we moved to.
Compton was.
That's,
still
I was
probably nice
getting
back
to
then.
that. That's what I was getting to. So yeah, it was wild.
Wow.
Man. But-
What's crazy is the houses and shit are nice in certain
Bro,
sections
listen,
of Compton.
I tell
that-
people this all the time.
no, they're nice out there.
Yeah, it's nice in
Yeah.
Compton.
When I first moved here, I said I gotta go to Compton.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? I can't.
Well, I heard that at a certain point, white folks lived all in.
Yeah,
Compton. It was all.
But even right now,
White people lived
I'ma
everywhere
tell you,
first.
Yeah.
when I first rolled up in Compton, I was looking around. I'm like, what are these niggas so mad about?
Me
I'm
too.
I'm
They got
I'm
swimming
this
pools and
I'm
shit.
like, this shit is rather nice.
Right.
You go to Kansas
niggas
City,
got
bro.
front
When you in the
yards.
hood,
You
like,
did-
there
it's
is
the
no
hood.
mistaking it,
Yeah.
nigga. Like,
Same with Atlanta.
There's a tire sitting outside on the curb. You know what I'm saying? That's probably been sitting there for like 3 years.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
3.
That shit done became a part of the. You know,
Your
like,
daddy
nigga,
knew when
hangout
that
spot. Nigga
time.
sitting on it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, like,
we going to the
that
time.
shit was rough, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? It looked ugly, nigga. Like, out here, like, I don't understand. Like, you hit the hood, and some areas still look rather nice.
Nigga, I was on Suge Block in Compton shooting a movie one time, and you know you gotta check in with the hood, and the OG was on the block, and I'm like, nigga, y'all grew up around here? He like, yeah. I'm like, y'all niggas got swimming pools and shit, dog. Like, what was y'all shooting at?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But, and it also put me in the perspective of, and it was the first time this ever happened. Y'all niggas brought the property value down for real. Like, you really brought the property value down over here, dude.
Definitely a beautiful hood.
It would be
It's a
yeah,
beautiful
nigga,
hood.
it'd
A
be
beautiful
nice
hood.
as
Like, this is a
fuck.
beautiful hood,
This
my
shit is
nigga.
amazing.
I seen
dude.
motherfuckers riding horses and shit through
Like, I got a
Compton.
nice
I'm like,
Yeah, there was actually what was it, Farm Dog Crip or something like that? I think it was. They used to ride horses over there.
and look, the
There's
first
a-
time I
there's
saw
a-
that shit, I was like, and y'all say Kansas City country?
Right, yeah.
I ain't
No,
never.
'cause there's
He
a
said-
there's
he
a
said farm
imp-
dog crib.
I think that's what it was called. It was an empty like field out there. I forgot the cross streets, but it was like an empty field,
was
and there
probably
was like
near
wild
Greenleaf.
horses.
I know it was probably near Greenleaf. Over by
Nigga,
Greenleaf, they had a lot of
yo,
little
yo,
areas over there. That's where you be seeing them horses.
Them
And shit.
horses.
Them
Imagine
them
it.
niggas doing
Horse
drive-
park
them
crib.
Them niggas doing drive-bys on horses. and
Right?
shit. You
That's a
motherfucker,
ride
oh,
by, nigga.
Hey,
That's
nigga.
a ride by. Pop, pop, pop. Look. The horse
Giddy
gets
up, giddy up,
stubborn
nigga, giddy
and
up.
don't run off. Nigga, the nigga just stop. You know how the horse gets
Alright,
stubborn?
look,
Like, I don't
we
wanna
better.
walk.
Hey, we better chill out, for we have some Compton
Right,
set
nigga,
niggas
roll
roll
up
up
on
on this motherfucker like, hey, what up,
Where the
cuz?
motherfucker
You
was?
talking shit about
Where the
Compton,
motherfucker
cuz?
was?
This is Yeehaw Crip, nigga.
Niggas come out with 6-shooters. Like Yosemite Sam and shit.
Nigga shoot you 6 times,
Hilarious.
miss, and be like, nigga,
y'all-
I'll be
y'all-
back.
But you wanna know what's crazy is because Lil Nas X, he shot his video out there in Compton on the horse and shit too. So
Oh, yeah.
like that. So that's crazy, you know what I'm saying? He done fucked it up for that game.
I don't know
This
if we attribute
this nigga's not even here, and I'm still giving a look like.
Yeah, I don't know if we attribute Lil Nas X to anything crippy or bloody or anything Compton-ish.
Nah.
The only thing he
Hey,
got in common with them
Alphonso,
niggas over there is the horse,
You know
nigga.
Dice from the shop, and we can always count on Dice to say some stupid shit.
That nigga
Even all the
that
way
nigga
from
left
the
hand.
desert,
From
you
the
know what
all the
I'm
way
saying?
from Bomb Desert.
Celebrating his birthday. You think the nigga got a little older, he get a little wiser, but apparently that's not true.
Hilarious.
No. Wait, Dice, are you officially 43 now? Because you know 2 weeks ago you was telling us you wasn't 43 yet.
Well,
I
he's
said
turning
I'm about to be
42.
Oh, you turning
42,
42. So, okay, yeah, you 42.
42.
So you 42 official?
Hey, so look, I got a story behind that. So the other day, I had got a bottle of this vodka, 1941 vodka, and then at the same time, I had got some 1942. So I was drinking the 41 because I'm 41, but now celebrating my 42nd birthday, I went to the 1942. So that's what I'm drinking right now.
The face right now.
You see what I'm saying? Hey, listen. This is the shit that I have to put up with on our podcast.
Alcohol. Look, alcoholic
Wait,
party
is it normally-
vibes right
is the
there.
table normally long? Like, how many guests?
Well,
are
see,
we-
here's the thing. We used to have a bigger
A bigger table. That was real nice
got
and
it.
everything.
But this same Negro that we're speaking to
probably off that 1941. That
40.
day.
No, listen, that nigga mixing them both together was off that 87, nigga.
He
You
was
know what I'm
out,
saying?
he was out that 87 straight up, nigga.
No, nigga.
Or
no, nigga,
83,
that
my
would be-
bad,
that would be
83.
I think he had watched the
That would be
Bruce Lee
83.
flick the night before.
Yeah,
He
so-
wanted to see if
So
he was like bored.
Dice gets upset at me one day because he's really drunk in here one day, and so he's going overtime.
Not one day,
and
every day.
Yeah,
but
well,
that
he's-
day he was.
we were
yeah.
going overtime. Dude's telling us to wrap it up. Dice is trying to get his story out. I said, okay, so thanks for tuning in for Barbershop Talk Like This. So you just gonna cut me off? Absolutely, because that's the end of our show.
That's
So he gets
hilarious.
upset and slams the
No.
headphones down on the table,
And
and the table broke.
Damn.
So that's how they ended up with this
With
little
this joint.
motherfucker.
Okay.
Dice, tell him
So
you
now
strong
Dice
as an
owe-
ox. You ain't even know
Dice
you was gonna break the
another
table.
He owed him a table.
Right.
I don't think he ever paid up.
Yeah, he
I don't
never
think he ever
get the nigga
paid up.
another
But he
table.
definitely
We
owed him
done
a
been
table.
through 2-3 small ass tables
look.
since
Wait,
then.
how long ago was this? What the?
This was probably a
This
few
a while
months
ago.
No,
This is
it
like-
wasn't
This is
that
like
long.
February.
Yeah, it
This
was
is
a
like
few months
February.
ago. It was a few months
About a
ago.
year ago.
No,
Okay.
it wasn't that long ago, Dice. Stop it. It was a few months
within-
ago.
it's within
So
2019.
you know Toby Hicks and Jamal Doman.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
they
yeah.
also shoot a podcast here, right? So they was like, hey, so we go in to shoot our show, and they got a fucking couch there and no fucking table for us. And we asked them what happened to the fucking table, and they said fucking Dice broke it. So for like 2 weeks, you know, people up here doing their podcast shows, sitting on the fucking couch, ain't got no table. You know what I'm saying? He just fucked everything up for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody knew.
Look, and
Everybody
still
knew
ain't
who the fuck Dice
remorseful.
was.
Nigga still laughing about that shit. Nigga.
This is the only nigga I know that don't want to say sorry, but always want you to apologize to his ass. Anyway,
He like,
so
I'ma get it back.
Nah,
I'ma
Yeah,
get it
right,
back.
right.
But yo.
But anyway.
You've been in a lot of movies, bro. Like, I'm
Yeah.
like you've been in a lot of.
I was
shit,
just
man.
about to get in
appreciate
there, and I you made your first big break. You're like your big break in the
Yeah.
Fat Albert movie,
Yeah,
right?
that was my first movie.
Man.
So did you get to work closely with Bill Cosby during
You
that
know,
time? Being that
I would say he would visit the set like randomly, but
Alright.
it wasn't like a close thing because of course, you know, at
Right,
you
right.
know, at the time he was crazy, busy and whatever. And so but I remember the day he came down and you know, he came down. We were shooting sort of close to here. We were shooting at a high school close to here. And they was like we in between takes, they was like, "Hey everybody, they said look over there, it's your creator," or something like that. And we all look, you know, of the characters, of course. So we all look, we like, oh shoot, it's Dr. Cosby, man. Oh my God, it's Dr. You know, we like, oh
Right.
man, this is crazy, man. Like we was like, what? So my man just came walking in. He was, what's going on? You know, so, you know, he was like walking in, and I was like, hey, and so like the first thing I walked up to him because I'm like, that's
Could he see you? Could he see you?
yeah. So like
would
we
you
all
shut
walked
up and let him tell the story?
So we all walked
No,
up to
I'm
him.
just saying because you know he's blind and shit. But go ahead.
This
Nigga,
before he
this
was
was
blind.
like 2006.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were shooting in 04.
Yeah,
Oh,
this before he was blind,
Yeah,
Dice.
so
Right.
he walked up and my man was tall too. He tall, you know. So I was like, oh wow, you know, like I didn't think he was that tall. You know, like 6'3", 6'4". You know,
Oh,
he's up
shit.
there,
I
right?
didn't know he was that tall.
So
neither.
yeah, so I walked up. We all walk up, and you know, everybody's saying whatever. Oh my gosh, you know, appreciate the love and thank you for having me aboard. And so the first thing I walk away because I had the Bucky teeth on, you know what I'm saying? So I took them joints out because they made like a prosthetic, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So they did
Right.
my whole, and then they cut my hair like way back here, and they had the flat top.
Yeah, nah, I
joint.
remember.
That joint was wild. So as soon as I walked up, he was like, you know, he said, when I created these characters, I didn't know I would have someone actually play the actual role. And I was like, yeah. And
I'm
like,
here.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because he was looking at me like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you
Because he knew
immortalized.
Bucky. He really
Yeah,
knew Bucky.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
'cause,
So,
yeah, you actually embodied that character.
yeah,
for real.
yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Well,
Yeah.
that was something that like they, you know, cats used to hit me like high school, whatever. They'd be like, "Yo, my man look just like the kid on Fat Albert. He look just like the kid on Fat Albert, the one with the teeth, yo. He look just like him." And like that, I used to get that like throughout.
So when
high
that
school.
role came up, you like
That's
this shit
mine.
Well,
That's mine.
It's crazy because the film came around like one time. It's been around, like they've been
Right.
trying to get it made, and so the first time it came around where it was like going, I got casted as Dumb Donald.
Oh,
with
wow.
the beanie.
Oh.
Right.
So I had the
Yeah.
beanie over
Oh
my
yeah,
face.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that
so,
wasn't you at all.
yeah, and so Forrest Whitaker was directing,
Right.
and so we got you know, the whole cast is together, and at the time it was Omar Benson, Omar Benson Miller. He's on Ballers right now.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Tall
yeah,
brother,
yeah,
kinda
yeah,
heavy
yeah.
set a little bit.
Yeah.
So it was Omar and they had a whole fresh, different cast. Kel was on. Kel Mitchell, he was playing Bill. He was
Okay.
actually playing Bill, and that's what we first met. That's when me and Kel first met.
Okay.
And it was wild, man. Like we went through the whole process, but there was like a falling out with Cosby and Whitaker, and then the film kind of fell apart. You know what I'm saying?
You cannot
Yeah, because I mean, what
The movie.
You cannot say
filth,
fuck.
foreign filth in the movie.
But you got to kind of think about it though, because it's like this is my baby, and if you're not doing this the way that I visualize this,
Yeah.
you're gonna have a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, it's like, no, get this shit right.
Yeah, there were definitely creative differences. They just weren't seeing eye to eye.
I like that they tried to keep it in the movie as close to even though it was it was the life people, the human actors, but they kept it like cartoonish.
Yeah.
Still to a certain extent, extent that I thought was funny.
What I want to know is
did this shit.
What I want to know is did you find any Quaaludes on set? You know what I'm saying? Was anybody passed out like?
No.
You talking about niggas saying? You talking about niggas saying dumb shit.
No, that's a good question about did you see Bill do did Bill do any fuckery?
Listen, because I want to know firsthand, did he?
It's not a good question because Bill was barely
if you want to, you
Listen,
just hit
I'm
mute.
about to say,
You could just hit mute on this nigga.
Exactly.
We could just hit mute.
Exactly. We are totally in control of the dumb shit
Of the
he said.
dice.
Wow. How about that? Anyway, so
no, there was none of that.
Nobody passed out on set.
No, it was.
What's her name? Kyla Pratt. You know what I'm saying? She stayed awake the whole time. Like,
wow. Did he give
kidding.
y'all any good advice?
Yeah. I mean, that was definitely the first time I actually heard him curse because I was like,
Bill cursed?
I was like, this is Dr. Huxtable.
you should have said, you cannot say
Bill Flarn.
No. You should say, you cannot say fuck.
First of all, when Bill Cosby cursed, what curse word does he use? Damn.
He used
It's something mild.
Like damn hell.
It
was like
it wasn't a fuck though.
It was no.
Yeah.
No, it was no.
But
He just,
this is what I did here because we had I think it was Owen Smith that was on with us that time.
oh yeah, okay.
And he was telling me he met Bill Cosby. He said, "Man, Bill is a gangster." He
He
said,
is.
I believe it.
He said because he said
You
there was-
can't get that far and get that much paper and not be a
because his
gangster.
story
But the
was
thing
he
is,
said
the nigga
he
from
said a
North
guy.
Philly. The nigga from North Philly, bro.
Okay,
That's
we-
true.
Yeah, because like
That's true.
there was one time we were at a 76ers game. So we out there and we were like down on the floor. You know, it was like we on the court and I mean, first of all, NBA courts. If y'all ain't never been on an NBA court, like it's them joints. It's crazy.
Nice.
It's a whole
That
nother
shit,
beast.
that shit.
It's a whole nother beast.
Totally
You're like,
different.
yo. So we just down there chilling while they warming up, doing whatever. And so we over there sitting courtside for a second, like talking with Bill. And so some media press dude walked up and was like, "Excuse me, Mr. Cosby, if we can just ask you to." And like he was talking to us, he looked at the journalist like, "What the hell you?" It was like he said, "You see me here talking, don't you? Well, then get the hell up out of here." And then they was like,
I'm sorry, Mr. Cosby.
That's kind of like Owen's story because he was having a conversation and the guy came up and wanted an autograph or a picture or something. And he said, "I will get to you in a moment." And the dude kept asking. He said, Cosby said, "Didn't I tell you?
Yeah.
I will get to you.
In a moment. Yo, and that's how it was. Like, and the journalists looked like, yo, he about to like
smack the dog
right?
shit out you."
Like, you know what I'm saying? So they run it, and then he turned to us. He was like, I hate the media. I hate all of the media. They try to twist and turn, and I was like, yo. But he was gangster with it. That's how he was. I mean, because you got to think about it.
Right.
He's been dealing with the media since. You know,
since before
civil
the media.
rights.
That nigga been dealing with the media since before the media, nigga.
Before, right?
That nigga grew with the news, nigga.
Right? So so you've been dealing with it.
If
You know?
anybody knows how they shape and fuck up your words and shit, it would be his ass. He been around
That's
since
it.
Right.
the inceptions of Negroes on TV.
Exactly.
When niggas was on TV, Bill was like, "I'm here."
Yeah, exactly.
So last night I was doing a little bit. Go ahead, Dice.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. I was gonna say.
No.
Do you see why I keep looking like this? Do you
I
understand?
would say, like it was dope the way that that y'all had did that whole in the closet thing, like on Instagram or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? Where you was playing like the Jamaican nigga.
In the
With,
class?
This nigga-
Yes. Caught with Daystorm. With Daystorm Power. Yeah. That's my dude.
Yeah. Yo, that shit was hard. But what I was gonna say is like, what made you really want to cross over? Or when did you realize it was like, all right, this is going to boost everything up? Like, I should start doing.
I hadn't got to that
Instagram
part of the
videos and shit
interview
like
yet,
that.
Dice, but
Okay.
since you want to go ahead and jump right on ahead, like I had other questions that lead us up to that point. But
Okay,
since
well,
you want to
well,
just, since you
We
want to
can go wherever.
listen, since you want to jump the interview, go right ahead.
Well, I'm not there. I'm not there for you to tell me what you had. You know what I mean? Lined up.
Whose fault
Well, you
is
shot on
that?
listen, right?
Whose fault is
well,
that?
you told me to go ahead.
That's my mom and my dad's fault, nigga.
Here's
You
the
know
thing.
what I
Hold
mean?
on. You told me to go ahead, and then I told you to go ahead. Then you said no, you go ahead, and then I started to
That's why you
speak.
should've went.
I tried to. I tried to, and then you came in with your stutter. Wait. What I want to know is
About me. Let's get back to a
Damn.
nigga. Let's go.
Hilarious.
So really quick before we jump
Yeah.
that far, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm building something here.
Yeah.
We're going through the foundations of his career. So anyway, so now I gotta say, last night I was doing a little research on you, doing some reading and stuff like that, and I stumbled across it said that you actually first became interested in acting when you were in school. You did like an improv class or workshop or something, and the teacher asked you to shoot something off the top of your mind. And they said you had the class just dying hysterically, but they never said what you did. So I wanted to know what did you do that day?
Yeah, what'd you say?
That made you say this is it and had everybody laughing and say I love this film.
Well, like improv, it's like you say it, you go, and a lot of times you forget what you said because it's off the top.
Right.
I do remember the scene.
Right.
It was they were like the teacher said, "Oh, it's Superman and Lois Lane in an argument or something like that." You know what I mean? And so
I can
like, you know what
imagine.
I'm saying?
I can
They
imagine you
imagine,
killed
like,
that
you
shit.
went with that. So the scene was just going. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to save this and no, you saving this person. I'm like, I ain't saving these hoes. I said something like that, and everybody, you know, the class, and I was just going off the top, just going. So
Nigga said, I ain't saving these hoes.
I ain't saving these hoes though.
That's
And she was like,
hilarious.
whatever, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
That's
And
funny
like,
as shit.
yeah, you know what I mean? So it was like. And I just remember to that extent, like just, you know, going through that. And then the class was just like, yo. And then it just like the bug bit me. I was like, yo.
And they said from that point, like, that's when you like, I think I want to do
Yeah,
stand-up.
because it's like, man, you know how it is. It's like doing comedy or whatever. Like you when you're on the stage and when you're dealing with a live audience, it ain't nothing like getting that instant feedback.
Right.
Yeah, the
It's an
feedback.
instant verdict. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's like you say something, if it's funny, they laugh or they
Right.
don't. And regardless of how well they know you.
Right. It's funny because like I know you through all the movies and the TV shows, you know what I'm saying, the Instagram videos, and you are fucking hilarious.
Appreciate it.
Last year was my first chance actually getting to see you perform your stand-up.
Oh, word, okay.
And
Was it all right? Was it all right?
Yes.
Yeah, you're funny.
Listen, I'm about to tell you the show because it was the most
You're funny.
It was the most
Appreciate
crazy show. It was Chris Red's show. Remember, and they had that shit
Chris Red's
downstairs.
show.
They had that shit downstairs, and right next door there was like a big ass club party, and that fucking music was going.
Wait, was that the UCLA?
No, we were
where
down
we
in
at?
Hollywood. It was like
Okay.
you went downstairs. It was a dope little setup. Like the ceiling was really low, but
Yeah.
next door, like, I don't know how you can forget
trying
this.
to think.
Next door, they had this fucking party going, and the music was loud as shit. And every comedian came out on stage was like, "Nigga, how the fuck
That's
am
what
I
I'm saying.
supposed to
It
perform
was-
to this shit?"
It wasn't the spot in Westwood?
No,
No?
it was literally shit. It was right off of Hollywood Boulevard in Highland somewhere.
Hollywood. Yes. Wait, upstairs. Is it the upstairs joint?
No,
Or, no,
you,
it's
you
low.
went down, like you went down the stairs. That shit was like almost like a dungeon, and you went in there, and it was like I said, it was a dope little setup.
I'm trying
But
to think.
next
I'm
door, like I don't know how you forgot, but
I'm trying to think of
y'all listen. I had to give y'all hands down because I have never been in a stand-up show. Like, dog, they had like a real live club going next door.
Yo,
And the
why
music
do
was like niggas was talking to you. Boom, 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 boom. Like the music was going crazy. So crazy that you know, I think the DJ of our show just pretty much gave up, you know what I'm saying? As
Yeah,
far
like,
as
I ain't even gotta spin nothing.
That's
Y'all hear the
hilarious.
music.
Yeah,
Next
but
comedian
you
comes
came on
to
and
the
you
stage,
killed
we
though,
don't
you know.
need no music. they got the music for us.
Right, but you came on and you killed that shit. You know what I'm saying? And you made that whole sound shit a part of the show. It was you. Let me see who's all on that show. It was you. I think
it wasn't Marty's. It wasn't like, well, no, you kind of go upstairs a little bit to Marty's. No,
this was like soon as you walk in off the street, you make a right, or at least we made it right. So
it was off of Hollywood and Highland?
Somewhere in
Listen, man. This nigga done been on. This nigga done. He done.
I understand, but like this is like no. I get it, but this is one of those incidents. It's like.
All right, but I mean, you trying.
Nigga, shut up.
He don't remember. Let's move
on. What'd you say? What'd you say? Say it again. Huh? I can't hear you. Okay. Anyway, like I said.
Nigga tried to mute me, so I ain't say shit.
Anyway, so no, like I said, so but nah, this was just one of them. Like it was just one of them situations. Like the shit was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Most of the comedians made it through it. You know, and some of them just like it was just too much of a distraction.
Yeah.
But like, yo, you
gotta
killed
take
that
you
shit.
gotta take the environment though.
Yeah.
Like so that I mean, I done been in situations where it's like niggas doing whatever. You like, yo, you gotta.
He was talking. He was like, nigga, I ain't never dealt with no shit like this before.
I'm really trying to remember. I'm like, yo.
Man, that shit was hilarious though. But yeah,
it'll probably come to me later. Like,
yeah,
yo, okay.
I do remember that. Yeah. So, but yeah, that was my first time actually ever sat. And I was like, at the time, I was like, yo, I didn't even know he did stand up.
Yeah.
And yo, I was laughing. I was like,
I appreciate it.
You're very fucking funny, brother.
Yeah,
so.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, it's you know how it is with stand up. It's like you gotta. You're up there. You don't have like.
There's no other distractions. The one thing that I cannot do, I could rap on stage because it's a beat to distract the motherfucker.
Yeah.
If it's stand up,
it's just you and a microphone.
You and
a mic, and
you gotta go. But what I think is funny is that how a lot of like big time Instagram people are trying to be stand up comedians now, and it just don't work. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you just gotta stick to your lane. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's because every medium has its own arena, if you will, and its own like vibe. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of times Instagrammers are Instagrammers.
Right.
Stand-up comedians are stand-up comedians. It's
exactly.
like, and you have film actors who are film, television.
And sometimes stand-up comedians can be Instagrammers because just because they're funny naturally. What were you I feel like a lot of good stand-up comedians can turn a lot of their sets into sketches. You know what I'm saying? To kind of bring all that shit back to life too, so.
Yeah. I mean that's the thing. If you can cross mediums, and that's always a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can make the you could transcend through film, television, then that's always a good thing. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then you also got to play alongside of the late, great, legendary Bernie Mac.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Now, how was that's my question. How was it, you know what I'm saying, working on set with Bernie? Because I know y'all was a lot younger than him. So he wasn't like trying to kick it with y'all. Like
at all.
You know what I'm saying?
He said at all. At all. But I say the first thing is you get intimidated.
Right.
Because you like, man, and that's how I grew up. I grew up thinking like, you know what I'm saying? But I always used to think like, for me when I was a kid, I would say if I could make my brother laugh, my brother Jeremy, he's funny to me. You know what I'm saying? And I always used to think if I can make him laugh,
I'm good.
I can make
you know what I'm saying? Then I can make everybody laugh. So it's kind of like when you see the people that are funnier than you. You're like, man, if I can make them laugh, though.
Right.
So that's how it was with Bernie. Like, so I remember him walking on set, and everybody was like, yo, it's Bernie.
Yeah.
And then they looking at me like, well, nigga, you the funny one.
What
you
you
gonna
gonna
do?
do?
What you gonna do?
Right.
And I'm just sitting there like, oh, my God. And he just walked on, and like the most professional dude you could ever work with. Like, I'm talking about, if you got to be on set, they be like, hey, we need you on set. He's there before everybody else. Bow. He'd be there. You'd be like, how he get to the, you know what I'm saying? Because they got to go and get all the actors to call him, and sometimes it'd be a little stragglers, whatever.
Right.
He'd be there before everybody else. In rehearsal, he know all his lines. Like he was so professional, like just ready. Like there's actors who they what they call turnarounds. So if they shooting your coverage, the other actor's not on camera.
Right.
there's actors who leave.
Right.
If they like, yo, I'm not on camera, I'm gonna go back to my trailer. He'll stay with you, and he'll give you that same energy. If he being that funny on camera, he'll give you that off camera, you know?
Right.
And so he walked on set. I'm like, man, that's Bernie. Heart going, beating. I'm like, yo, this is one of the kings. I'm like, this is crazy. So I'm just sitting there, and I just kept thinking, I was like, just don't try to make the nigga laugh.
Right? Just be normal.
Just be you.
Because
Because you know how it is. Like, there's,
don't walk up and tell a joke.
Like, niggas be auditioning. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, let me see if I can make the nigga laugh. You know, I was down the street, right? And you be like, yo, chill, yo.
Right.
Like, you ain't got to audition.
He look at you like,
You know what I'm saying?
This am.
You know how it is. Like,
Stop that shit, young man.
Exactly.
Don't do that bullshit.
Yeah. So he was so he's sitting there on set and we were doing rehearsal, and it was a scene where I had to talk to the girl, and like she said something or whatever and tried to come up to join the team, and then I kind of stopped the girl and I say something like, yo, you know, and I forget what the line was, but I'm basically like hollering at her, right? And so I said something to the effect of like, you know, hey girl, you did really good out there and blah, 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 right? So they was like, all right, cut on rehearsal. And the director, he was an African dude. So he came up, he was like, listen, Phones, I loved what you did, but it needs to be funnier, okay? You need to have it to be funnier, okay? I need you to bring the funny. And right, so I was like, oh, okay, all right. But I was a little nervous because I'm like, it's Bernie
Mac
watching the rehearsal, and then Terrence over there watching with the squinty eyes. Like, listen, Alfonso, you need to bring that, man. You need to.
yo, bro, you got them impressions down pat, bro.
So then Bernie just watching, just didn't say nothing, just stone face, just. So then I did the next take. You know, we did it again, right? Just to do a blocking rehearsal. So after the blocking rehearsal, Bernie pulled me to the side. He said, now look here. He was like, they brought you in for a reason. You're here for a purpose. You need to be funny. Just do what you do. Let them know why you're here. And I was like,
okay. All right, God. Thank you, OG.
okay.
Okay, thank you, OG.
So then, right? So then the next,
That nigga
we
sounded
did
like
one more, right? So then we did one more. Yo, killed it. I said something off the top because that's where I go. I go off the top. So I went bow. Everybody in rehearsal laughing. All right, cut on rehearsal. Let's get ready to shoot this. It was like boom. All right, cool. And that was the validation. He looked at me. He was like, just like that. And then when I got, and then that was the validation. But then when he literally became like, it was like a fan almost of me, and it was crazy because the stuff he was saying. But I was in the corner doing this. I used to do this thing where I would like flex, right?
Right.
You know, like a bodybuilder, right? So I would be flexing, but I was super skinny.
Like you getting ready. Like,
So I'd be, so I had the speed on, right? I'm super skinny, got the fish, little swimmer's body, looking like a pigeon out there, right? So I'm doing the flexing. I didn't know he was,
funny.
right? So I didn't know he was watching me in the corner. He just watched me like, this nigga, you know? So I'm doing this, and then I turn, look over, he's dying laughing. And I was like, yo, like, you know what I'm saying? I was just being me, whatever. He over there dying laughing. So after that, he was like, man, this boy funny. Man, this boy is funny. And that was it. Like, and it got to the point where I didn't have a manager. He introduced me to his manager, hooked me up with his manager. Like it was super
crazy.
love. Like
That's crazy.
super love.
That's crazy.
And it was crazy. And I was just like, yo, this is Bernie Mac though. Like, yeah, it was
All right,
nice.
no, I mean, but the thing is, hey, listen, you know what I mean? You been over just being you, and that's the best thing you can be.
Dice ain't never ate no pumpkin pie.
What'd you say? What'd you say? I didn't think he could tell. I didn't think he could tell. He can tell because we keep laughing. I say, what'd you say? What'd you say? We just fucking with you, Dice. You know, it's your birthday, nigga.
Happy birthday, nigga.
Happy birthday, nigga.
Old ass nigga.
Now you also played this is actually one of my favorite movies. I really enjoyed the movie was Glory Road.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that shit was like to work alongside like seasoned veteran actors like that. John Voight, what's my man name? Josh Lucas. You know what I'm saying? Like was that like okay, so at this time you had already done Fat Albert.
Yeah.
This was before Pride, right?
Yeah.
So
Pride,
okay, so
it was my first flick period piece. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. And crazy budget. You know,
Right.
it was wild. Yeah.
Fat Albert was a period piece, nigga.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
was
if
in
you
the
will.
70s.
Yeah, in the yeah. Well,
But
actually,
they brought
technically,
them,
they brought
they
them,
brought
yeah,
them to the future.
yeah,
So
yeah, that's true.
True.
so like
Which
doing-
technically, real quick, it's actually Bill Cosby's childhood friend. So we were actually from like the
60s.
40s,
Lord,
and
before they
50s.
was
40s,
nigga childhood.
yeah.
It was
nigga.
like it
Nigga,
was like his childhood. So we was like 40s,
I said
50s.
the 60s. I'm way off.
Yeah, nigga,
We
nigga
was
Co-
like-
Cosby came home, nigga, in one of them little carts and buggies, nigga, like that nigga's
Oh,
old,
yeah.
nigga.
What you mean
Nah,
came
but-
home?
it was-
Cosby was born in the house.
Yeah, he was born at home.
He
my
was
man.
born at
There wasn't no
home.
hospital.
It
nigga,
wasn't
like-
no hospital, big bro.
So anyway, so my point is like, so when you got that opportunity,
Yeah.
now you going on set with these seasoned veteran actors. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because with the Fat Albert, you know, a lot of you guys were around the same
Yeah,
age.
yeah,
You had
yeah.
some guys that, you know, some people on the
Yeah,
set
yeah.
that had been doing it for a little longer than you, but
Yeah.
you know, you guys were all pretty much the same age. But now you go on set and these guys been doing this shit for decades.
That's fucking
Yeah.
John Voight.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
That's
Yeah.
fucking
Like-
John
like-
Voight.
Was there nerves there
There
then,
were-
or
yeah.
were you like, I done this before, I got this?
Yeah, there were nerves, of course, because it's like, you know, I got nervous because I was like, yo, this could be something that lives on forever, that people, you know,
Absolutely.
because I realized that with Fat Albert, I was like, yo, this is like, you do certain things and it stays with people.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially if like kids are watching. You
Right.
know? So that was the thing with Glory Road. I was just like, yo, this is about to be like that moment of like it could change a lot of people's lives and how
Right.
they look at like basketball sports within the college, you know, era and the collegiate, you know, arena. And I couldn't even really comprehend what was going on. It was surreal.
Right.
But it was a lot of nerves though, because
Right.
it was like I'm doing a period piece.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that was number one. I was like, yo, I'm actually about to do a joint like out of the 60s. Like this is crazy.
Right.
Like it was wild, yo.
That's what I was gonna say. So like when you doing those types of pieces, you know what
Uh-huh.
I'm saying, and you in that moment, like I think there's a part of the movie where it was like some racial scene that went down like the restaurant or some shit.
That
like
was the
that.
first scene. That was the first scene that I shot in
Right.
the film. Like we were driving, we were in New Orleans, and we shot out in New Orleans.
Good
for-
shit out early.
Yeah,
That
that was. I
director
mean,
is
we
the
just
truth.
they put us right in there.
Yeah.
So we were driving out. We're in New Orleans, and they're like, hey, you know, we've already did basketball camp because we actually had to play.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna ask you, are you can you really hoop?
I can
you-
hoop. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? But like we had to play like in a certain way that made it look of that era.
Of that
as
era,
well.
right?
Right.
And
y'all-
so I got
no
that. I got
crossover.
so
So
I
no
got that.
crossover.
No crossover.
So they coming down the court, they dribbling like this.
Exactly. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
They had belts on their shorts and shit.
Exactly. Right. So like I got that linky body. You know what I'm saying? So I already look like I'm out of a period. You know what I'm saying? Out of a period piece. It's like, all right, cool. So we're driving. We heading out to the first scene, and you know we had already did like a month or so of basketball training and did all, you know, went through all these different, you know, processes and whatever just to get ready.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so we driving out there, we get out to the restaurant, and the restaurant, I mean, it looked straight out of the civil rights. It was crazy.
Right.
And I'm sitting there like, damn, all right, okay, So they was like, all right, so we're gonna do this scene where, you know, Shed gets jumped in the bathroom. And I'm sitting there like, all right, cool. Let's do it. So we all, you know, we dressed up, got the little blazer on, whatever. They action. Yo, we walked in the building. I don't know. It was almost like the actors in there weren't even acting, because it was like these white folks looked like they was straight out of.
Yeah, that's what
You know
I
what I'm saying?
Did it make you feel
So
like you was
the-
really back then?
Yeah, like I mean, to the T. I was like, is this a movie? Like,
Right.
I was
Y'all testing me right
and
now?
They was
This
looking
a
at us.
joke?
They was looking at us like, you nigger. I was like, yeah. Like it was wild. It got to the point where we were doing one scene, and the dude was going off. The director said, yeah, we just need some, you know, we need tension here
Need
with
some
the
niggers
players.
in there.
Man, the dude went off. He forgot they said cut. He was like, you nigger, going back to Africa and blah, blah. They was like, cut. He was still going. Because that's what I'm saying, you doggone monkeys, you motherfucker. Like, he was going off. They was like, cut. And like,
I got
That
that
nigga-
you know what I'm saying?
I've always
But
wondered,
then,
like,
but then, I have a moment where, like, there was one scene where dude had to get super racist. You know what I'm saying? Like, just the same way. You know, you know, his action, he was like, you old Negra, gone back, such and such, whatever this cutting. And he'd be like, hey, Alphonso, was that okay? Is that all right?
Hell no, that ain't all right.
I just no, I'm just acting.
Did I really hurt your feelings? If I really hurt your feelings, I know I'm doing a great job.
I'll take one of the niggers out if you want.
I'll take one out.
I just use one if you want.
Listen, because I've always said, I wonder if white people, like, when they in those period pieces and they see, okay, today we shooting this. Oh, I get to say nigger. I get to say it to his face. Like, you know what I'm saying? Are they really like, look at Wells.
Wells over there, like, I ain't paying no attention to this bullshit.
Listen, Wells is from DC. She like niggas.
She dates light-skinned black men.
Yeah, that's what she
She's
told
like,
us.
really?
No.
Light-skinned black man.
She told us, I dated a
Light-skinned
light-skinned
black
black dude.
Okay.
So that let me know that she hang around niggas that her herself
Okay.
called a black dude light-skinned.
Okay.
Like, it don't matter what
She over
color
here
he
rolling
is.
her eyes
That
like-
nigga still
She's
dark
from
to her.
DC.
That's
DC
hilarious.
is Chocolate City.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. You know what I'm saying?
See, she shook it. She affirmed
So,
it.
yeah, I always wonder if they be like, yeah, I get to say nigger to their face.
I don't know if it was that, but there was definitely a pride and joy in like I said, that one dude and my boy really grabbed him out of the stands. Like he grabbed him like in the scene, and we had to get him off of the dude because he was about to kill him. Like, and he was like, oh, what you say, you damn cracker? And I was like, yo, chill.
It's
Cut.
Yeah.
Cut.
Man, listen.
But that's the stuff that comes off on the screen as real. Like, you really got to get into it.
You gotta be in it.
Yeah, you got to.
You got to really
Yeah.
get into it.
Yeah.
Like, if they call you nigga, you got to really respond. Like, you can't, you know.
That's
I
what
know-
makes it authentic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
You
if-
can't
if
be
not-
like, I know this is.
Oh, I grew up in Missouri, nigga. I've been called a nigga for real.
Oh, me too.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
No,
Me
no,
too.
that's- Yeah.
Fucking nigga.
I don't
Yeah.
know no black person that grew up in any generation in this country that hasn't been called nigga.
Yeah.
At least once in their life.
Once, you know what I'm saying? But nigga, I've heard
Nigga,
it. You know, for
hey,
a
we
time.
Yeah, me too.
No, I've-
got
yeah.
called nigga
Yeah.
on the football field, and that just made us want to fuck them white boys up even more. Nigga.
Yeah.
Fuck the motherfucking ass.
Yeah.
What? What'd you say?
Straight through. He's all right.
What'd you say,
What'd you
Dice?
say?
Right.
What'd you
say,
say?
Dice?
Yo,
I didn't even mute you, nigga. I'm just playing a joke on you. Relax.
Yo, do you watch your movies? Because there's a lot of actors that kind of sit back and be like,
Don't
okay,
like
I
to
do
watch
stuff,
their
but
work.
I don't like watching myself.
I would see the initial, you know what I'm saying, but I don't do like the go backs and check it out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like a lot of the stuff I'll just shoot and go. So I just shoot it. I'm like, all right, it's out there. You know what I'm saying? And I'll catch it when I can. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So there's a lot of stuff that I might see the initial.
Oh, you go ahead.
Plays, but you know what I'm saying?
just checking time.
But yeah, like so like I said, so the initial portion of it, like I might watch it like that, but I don't really do the go back. There's a lot of stuff I haven't even seen
Really?
of my
Yeah.
stuff.
Hey,
Yeah.
Wow.
Is there
Yeah.
a reason for that? Because a lot of actors are like that. Because like me being somebody who don't act, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, I like to see myself on camera all the time. Like I
You
wanna
just
see this shit.
narcissistic, nigga.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know what I mean? But
there
there's,
are.
but there's like a lot of actors that won't go back and see their work. Like what's
Yeah, well, there's a couple of things. Like
It's work.
You know, it's work. So a lot of times, like I said, there's people come up to me and be like, "Yo, I loved you on the, you know, when you was on this show, and I seen the episode, whatever." And I'm like, "Yo, I ain't even seen that joint." Seriously,
I had fun making it.
I had a lot of fun shooting it, making it, whatever. And I feel like, all right, it's out there. You know what I'm saying? And so there's a lot of stuff I haven't seen. But I feel like at one, you know, some people don't like watching themselves. You know what I'm saying? But then two, you start to judge yourself and maybe like critique your work to a point where you become like a hard critic on everything that you're doing. And a lot of times you lose that raw, unpolished, if you will. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You start critiquing everything. You know, oh man, the way, you know, the way I looked right there, the way, you know, whatever. You know, so I
It
don't
keeps
know.
it natural.
Yeah, it keeps
So has there been a movie that made you be like, yo, I gotta see how they put this shit together, and you watch it?
Well, let me see. Well, of course, Glory Road. You know, I
Right,
was just
exactly.
like, I was like, oh my God. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
because we had so many setups, so many different scenes, you know, being that they brought on all of these different cars and buses and whatever that were out of the 60s. You know, it was dope,
Right.
man. Like they transformed the whole area, the city and places we were shooting in to look like that time.
Time.
I had to see
Right.
it. I was like, yo, this is
Right.
crazy, you know. But I didn't want to watch Fat Albert though. Initially, I didn't want to
Really?
watch it. Yeah,
Why?
It wasn't him.
it was my first movie, and I was like,
That was like it being your first movie. You think like, I really gotta see this.
I was
I was
nervous.
gonna ask you, like, yo, like for that being your first movie, like, did you want to see that? And just like you just said, you didn't want to see it, but you had to see it too, though, right? At the same time, for it being your first movie,
Yeah, yeah.
From a certain perspective, do you think
right?
just keeping it a work situation and not really getting into watching yourself on the screen kind of keeps you humble too? Kinda
It
keeps
does
you
in
on
a little bit. Yeah, it does in a way. I mean, because it's like like I said, if you get used to watching yourself, it's almost like you ever see the girls that like they take the picture. Let me see. No, delete.
Yeah,
Let me see.
exactly.
Delete.
Yeah,
exactly.
You start to become like that. Like, let me see the
Right,
take. I ain't like that take. Okay, let me see the take. No, I ain't like that take. Let me see it again. Okay, let me do it. And I work with a dude like that where we action cut. Let me see the playback. And we used to call him Captain Playback because he was Captain Playback. Captain Playback. So he would literally run over to the video village, where they showing all the playbacks, whatever. And let me see the playback. Okay, let me see it. Let me see what I did right there. How'd I say that line? Okay, let me say it again because my lip twitched, or I wasn't, my head wasn't in the right.
Nigga,
Exactly.
it's okay.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think you could possibly develop something like that, possibly, but that's the only reason I was just like, look, it's out there. If it's funny, if I feel like we didn't get that take, like it wasn't funny, I'm like, yo, let's do another one. Cause
Right.
I mean,
You can feel that.
Right.
You can feel that.
You can feel that.
So
So let me ask you this. What can we? How was it doing that movie? How was it doing that movie?
Nigga, what are you trying to say?
I just said it, nigga. How was it doing that movie School?
It's not a
the TV
movie.
TV show. No, it was
The
great.
TV show,
Like,
cool, my
yeah.
bad.
I'm shooting that right now. It's dope because it's actually I find myself in a lot of period pieces for some reason. I guess I just got that period piece face.
What's the premise of School?
It came off of the Goldbergs.
Yeah, so
You know what I'm
it's a
saying?
spinoff of the Goldbergs. The Goldbergs is based off of Adam Goldberg's family,
Okay.
which he's the creator of the show, and so his whole family pretty much growing up in the '80s,
Right.
and so now Schooled is a spinoff of that in the '90s.
Right.
So we all in the
Yeah.
'90s, and
Okay.
and I play a Spanish teacher in the '90s. So
Spanish?
Black Spanish teacher?
yeah, right,
Okay.
Soy de Chicago. Soy
Okay.
de New Haven. So so it's cool. But I mean, and then I actually did I shot another period piece the beginning of this year. It's actually now this film I'm gonna be excited to actually see it because I want to see like what they did. But I'm playing a superhero in the '70s. So yeah.
Shit! So you
A
got an
superhero.
afro.
Yeah,
That nigga mustache. Nigga take his mustache off as a boomerang.
Nigga stupid. Yeah, it's wild. So we start in the late '60s and then go into the
What
'70s.
movie?
It's called
What's it called?
Hyperions.
Hyperion?
Hyperions. Yeah, it'll be out next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's
Okay.
dope.
Yeah.
Let me
Is
ask
it
you:
like
this.
Marvel? What is it?
It's independent comic book artist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hyperions.
Hyperions.
I'm gonna look for that.
Carrie Elway's from Robin Hood Men in Tights and The Princess Bride. He plays our professor / dad because we're all adopted. So
Gotcha.
it's kind of like the Umbrella Academy.
Got you,
Have
got
that
you, got
feel,
you, got you.
That's crazy because that nigga
Dan
ain't
was
even
like-
that old
Dan was like
to be
that
playing
too.
like
All the
you
kids-
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All the kids on Shazam was adopted too.
Thanks for that,
Yeah,
guys.
exactly. Yeah, so it kind of has that feel. Yeah.
Superman kinda was adopted. Those weren't his parents.
Nah, he just landed in the field. nigga.
Batman was adopted by Albert or what's that
Alfred.
man?
Yeah,
Alfred.
Yeah.
Alfred.
So are we gonna
Low-key-
start talking?
wait,
So
wait.
are we
Since
talking
you
about
brought
all
up
the
Alfred-
superheroes that's been adopted?
Since you brought, have y'all seen the preview for that Alfred? I think it's either a TV show
Oh
or a movie.
no.
Nigga, Alfred, the backstory on Alfred, nigga, Alfred was a fucking G. Alfred's a gangster.
Is it gonna be on Disney Plus?
I don't know what the hell I seen that preview for. I think it's a movie, low
Okay.
key. But
I don't know.
yeah, Alfred
Okay.
was a G, dog.
So has there ever been anything embarrassing that happened to you on set? Like, god damn, I can't believe I did that shit. Type shit.
Oh, I'm trying to think of like embarrassing.
Something is-
Like you walking on set, first day on set, you trip over some fucking cords that's running across. Like just something that just made a complete ass of yourself?
I'm trying to think of if there's something embarrassing.
Nope.
Let me think. I can't think of anything.
I'll let you
embarrassing.
marinate on
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
He like the
I'm-
one I
Alright,
got. I
so
ain't
check this out.
No. I'm trying to think. Like there have been a couple conflicts.
Okay.
Other actors, said something, but that goes back to cats with egos or
Yeah.
whatever it might, where you go like, yo, chill, like we all in this together. You know what I'm saying? But
Okay.
For sure.
I'm just trying to think of like something embarrassing.
Were any
Just think
of-
about it. I mean, I will come back
There
to
was
it.
Were
there
any-
was a there was a I had to do a sex scene in this one film where it was my first sex scene, and
So did you wear
and,
the
like,
sock?
yeah, I had the sock on, and we shooting. You know what I'm saying? Like they action. And the director was like, yeah, just grab it, just grab the booty. I was like, what in the world? Like, this is great. I didn't even sign up for all of this.
This is great.
So,
This is great.
and all of a sudden while we shooting, I just rise up. I'm like,
It's natural.
you know what I'm saying? And on the cut, I was still arisen. Cut. And I remember getting up like, okay, let me, can we,
Hilarious.
you know what I'm saying?
What do the girls
The
say?
sock
then?
ain't-
Right,
What
that's
do
what I'm about to say.
what do
What
women
should
say?
She was like, well, let's do the scene again.
Yeah, I mean, because here's my
She
thing.
was
It's like,
Okay, we
it's
ain't gotta act like nothing, but
it's
did
like
that
you-
end up in y'all kicking it?
We kicked it.
there you go, buddy.
There you
How
go.
about the stuff? I mean, she was going. So, what you doing after this scene?
Yeah, but I mean,
That's why because I was gonna ask. I know that's acting, but you getting all close and hot and heavy with somebody like that. Even if y'all ain't really kissing and shit, like
Bro,
just
like-
the touching and shit. Eventually, you like, nigga,
Like it's
she
just
touched
it's
nice,
natural
nigga. I wanna
human.
do this for real
It's
with
natural
her,
human
like,
it's
emotion
natural.
and reaction. So
It's
like
natural.
you can't
Like-
get mad if we're doing a sex scene and I'm rubbing all on your titties and we kissing and we bumping
You
and
gotta
grinding,
suck
and
on
my
the
dick
titty
and my
in the
dick
sex
get
scene.
hard. Like,
Well, that's the
Yeah.
thing. The director was so wild. He was like, now grab the titty. I was like,
all right, like that, like this with two hands or with one hand.
grab
Like,
the titty.
look,
Now
look,
do
look,
this.
look, one
Look,
hand in the
look,
mouth.
look,
I was like,
Look, one hand in the mouth, and that was.
I was like,
Yeah, like, nigga, I'm about to bust a nut.
All right,
and
so
then I would have to ask, is it okay if
Should I do
Should I-
circles around the nipples right now? Like, what am I doing?
Was it okay? Did I
Is
grab
it-
the ass?
I grabbed it.
I grabbed it just enough, right? Two cheeks is okay.
Look, you looking at the director. Is this cool?
All right, so
Is this cool?
so I recently came up with a new segment on our show, and we're gonna call it the hot seat.
The hot seat.
It's 10 questions, and they're
You ain't
typically
told me
like,
shit about this shit.
well, you were out of
You ain't
town.
here, Dice.
Anyway,
So,
so
we still could, nigga, we got phones. We talk. to
Dice,
each other.
shut
You
up.
can't say
I did this
Hey,
at
hit the mute
fucking
button.
4 o'clock
Hit
this
the mute
morning.
button. Hit the mute
Right.
button.
I did this
Hit
at
the
4
mute
o'clock
button.
this morning. So shut up. Anyway, now these are what they're basically like barbershop
Unhit
questions.
the mute button. Let's see. If
It's
he
not.
does
It's
it.
not.
Okay,
I
hold on a
didn't
second.
mute it. So they basically like goofy, crazy, funny barbershop talk
Okay.
questions. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to answer, tap the table. Say I can't answer that one. All right.
Ah,
All right.
am I gonna tap it 10 times?
I don't
Am I
think
gonna-
so.
Man,
I don't think
now
so.
you ain't gonna
I
tap
don't
it 10
think so.
times.
These easy questions.
All right. Question number 1. What celeb do you most want to smash?
Let me tap the table because I got a girl and she gonna be like,
Ah.
he set me up for failure.
I'm sorry, I didn't know you had a
Yeah, we didn't know that
yeah.
part. We don't want to. We
Listen,
don't want to fuck
Young
that up.
Mrs. Girlfriend McAuley. That's what we'll call her.
We apologize.
Listen, this is barbershop
Barbershop
talk like this.
Like this.
It's just barbershop talk.
And these are all
nothing
hypothetical
serious.
questions.
They're
These
all
are not things that
hypothetical.
yeah,
like,
this is hypothetical.
none of this really means anything, okay?
Don't
All right.
be asking niggas who their girlfriend is in the barbershop.
We
Did
didn't
anybody say that?
Nobody said who
You
his
see what I'm
girlfriend
saying?
is.
Look, watch this. Okay. This
Well,
what we're gonna do. Real quick. Okay.
I'll leave it
so,
more humorous. I'll say,
all right, so I'm gonna ask the second question anyway. You can tap the table if you like, because my next question was, what actress do you most want to do a sex scene with in a movie or a TV show? I mean, listen.
okay.
I don't want to get you in trouble, so don't get in trouble on my behalf.
I'll just say Little Debbie because she got cakes.
I like that one. I like that one. I like that one. All right.
Yo, serious business.
So, if you had to be,
serious business.
if you had to be stuck in one of these situations, if you had to be stuck in one of
Okay.
these situations, would you rather be stuck in a zombie apocalypse
Mhm.
or be the very last person on Earth?
This is a good one.
This is a good one. If I'm stuck in the zombie apocalypse, what kind of weapons do I? Because I need to know the weapons.
Right.
Do I have weapons?
You know, like Walking Dead, you gotta find what you can find, and you know what I'm saying. You get you a pitchfork or a gun if you get a whatever.
Okay, I'll go with zombie apocalypse because I might last 11 seasons.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I might last 11 seasons. You know what I'm saying? So
The last nigga on Earth is like, nigga, like I can only do but so much.
you know what I'm saying?
No, you can't do but so much.
Only
There's
so much.
one thing you
At
can't
least-
do if you the last nigga on Earth.
At least a zombie apocalypse. If I see like a bad zombie, chick, I can be like, where you from? Or where are you going to get freaky? Is that what you saying?
Hilarious.
All right, next question.
All
We
right.
only got we running
Top
short on
5
time.
rappers.
Ooh.
Your top 5.
Ooh.
We don't
Top
have to.
five,
We don't
Mos
have to
Def.
need explanations. Just you shoot them.
Jay-Z, Mos Def, MF Doom.
Okay.
Um,
We got a hip hop head here.
let me see. Trying to think of the.
2 more.
Two more.
I know, because it's hard. Nas.
No Big, no Pop.
Black Thought.
Black
This
Thought.
nigga he's a real
And-
one.
He's a
and-
backpacker.
No, yeah, he's
That
a
nigga
hip hop head. That's what I
backpacker.
said.
I
He's a
mean,
hip hop head.
yeah.
You throw out Black Thought, you know lyricism,
I
homeboy.
mean,
Okay.
I love Black Thought. He's dope. Anyways.
Prince or Michael Jackson?
We've had full on arguments on this show
Yeah.
about this.
It's hard. It's hard because it's almost like saying like night or day.
I
You know what I
get it.
mean? Or you know, what I'm saying? It's not like
Baked or fried chicken.
it's not like lemonade, pink lemonade. It's like that's kind of I don't know. It's almost too
You gotta
hard
pick,
to.
pick
gotta
one.
pick
You gotta
one.
pick one. You
I'm
can
gonna go
only-
Michael. I'm gonna
Alright.
go Michael.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Michael. I'm gonna go Mike. I know.
He's
I know.
a Prince guy.
I know-
He's a
and
Prince
I-
guy.
I- no, but I love Prince as well.
I get
And
it.
that's what I say.
Love Prince as well.
Love Prince as well.
Okay. Mike Tyson versus Muhammad Ali. Who wins?
I'm gonna go Mike
both-
Tyson. I'm sorry. I know
Nah,
there's a lot of
I
people
agree.
like, yo,
I agree.
Ali.
I
Like,
agree.
I
You
feel
gonna go
like
Mike Tyson?
I agree.
I feel like
Me too.
I feel like Ali, smooth, dope, dancing around everybody. But Mike was a killer.
That nigga
Mike got that
yeah.
dog.
Mike
Mike
Tyson
got
in his
that-
prime did
Prime
not
Mike?
get hit. He didn't
Prime
get hit.
Mike.
He did not
Yo,
get hit.
That's what Prime Mike was intimidating like
Everybody,
grown men.
yeah,
And he
yeah.
was like what 20? What
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Prime Mike crazy.
Yeah, Prime Mike.
He was
I'm
a killer.
rolling with Prime Mike.
All
I'm gonna
right.
go Prime Mike.
Here's a good one for you. Here's a good one for you. Eddie Murphy or Martin Lawrence. Who's funnier?
Eddie now.
Don't matter.
Eddie.
It don't
We
matter.
saying
Yeah,
Eddie
We
now.
don't know
listen,
about
listen,
Eddie now.
listen,
He
put
about
it-
to
no,
drop
no,
some new
no,
shit.
No, that's what I said.
Burn
Not,
us out
I
on
can't.
that.
I'm not
Eddie
even gonna
Martin
say.
now. I gotta know
I'm not-
Eddie Martin now or
listen.
Eddie Martin prime.
All time.
Eddie, hold on. Eddie
All
and Martin
time.
at your all-time favorite for each one.
That's
That's a good question.
it's so hard because they both
get it.
did
You gotta-
characters.
You got to pick one. I know. That's why I
They
chose it.
both
That's
had
why I chose
a
this
major
one for you.
major impact on every young black comedian's life. Like,
and culture.
and
for
culture.
That, for that matter.
oh, that's hard, yo.
Give me one. Got to start a clock countdown.
4, 3, deuce, 1.
I'm gonna go Eddie.
Eddie Murphy.
I say Eddie
I'd
only.
agree.
I say Eddie only because there was also a universal appeal to Eddie. Not saying that it wasn't with Martin.
Right.
Martin heavy. What I'm
Listen.
saying is that Eddie had an audience that kind of that transcended
Everything.
Listen,
everything.
I give you credit for
All right,
answering.
so-
I
so-
give you
so look,
credit
so
for
look,
answering the
so look,
question.
so look,
Hold on,
yo,
Dyson,
yo,
because
yo,
we only got a couple
yo.
more minutes, and I got to get to the rest of my question.
Real quick, since he ended off on Eddie, what do you think? Are you looking forward to Eddie Murphy
Dice,
stand up?
hold on.
Yeah.
Dice,
Definitely looking forward to it.
We
Yeah.
all
I'm trying
are,
to. We
Dice.
down
We
last.
all are,
week.
Dice. We have 5
we all
minutes
are.
left, Dice.
We only got a
Go,
couple
go,
minutes
go,
left,
go,
and I'm
go.
trying to get to the rest of my question.
I got a question, nigga. I mean, so you said you are looking forward to it?
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So listen, I got a couple more.
Dolomite look hot. The trailer look hot.
Dolomite looks funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Dice, I literally have 3 more questions, and then we got to wrap up because you already gave me the signal. So, next question. You can only have one for the rest of your life. Head,
For the rest of your head.
For the
head,
rest of your head.
head,
For the rest of
or-
your head.
head or fucking. You can only have one for the rest of your life.
This
What
is
you
an easy
choosing?
choice though.
That's
I
for you.
mean, But
Easy choice. Actually,
you
easy
can
choice for
only
me.
have one for the rest of your life.
You can only choose one or the other.
Of course you're gonna say smash. Of course you're gonna say sex. I mean,
He
that's
said
like-
head. I said
No, I did not
Oh.
say head.
Well, I know
said
some guys
we
that
had
say
the
head.
conversation, and I said that's a hard thing
Yeah, I'm
to
fucking.
decide.
I was
I'm
just-
fucking too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you gotta be that.
but
Okay.
nah, there's certain, there's
All right.
experiences.
Hold
that
on.
Yeah, of
head
course.
was- yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Head is amazing, but
Right?
I mean,
Yeah.
Okay. If you could
It's just
know,
whipped cream on the cake. If you ain't got the cake though, you got whipped
you need
cream.
the cake,
Okay,
exactly.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
if you could know, would you want to know when you would die?
Nah,
All right.
Nope.
no, because you'll lose hope
Hey.
in life.
Look,
Yeah,
I always say that could actually be like a catch-22 and ultimately be the reason why you die because you're trying to avoid your death and end up
Yeah.
doing some shit that actually caused your death. So, all right, and then last question. Last question. I don't know why I got stuck on these death questions, but if you had to, would you burn to death or would you drown?
Ooh, I would go with drown because burn is like
That's what I say.
burn-
But you would be amazed.
burn-
Like we've had this question come up in the
It's so
shop.
hard.
You'd be amazed at how many people would actually choose burn.
No, because I saw.
Drowning
You know what?
is painless from what
Real
I
quick,
mean,
because
actually-
I know we got the short on time. I saw a video on World Star one time. I clicked. I shouldn't have clicked. You know how you be clicking. Let me click it, and I don't want to watch it. Let me see. And there was a dude. It was in some other like island state or country, whatever. And basically he stole something, and they caught him, and they was like, "Yo, we caught you, whatever, and you gonna burn." And yo, they lit.
Hey.
They threw the kerosene on him and lit him on fire in the
that nigga-
video. And you heard like I've never heard somebody wail out of their soul like, "Ah." I was like, yeah, I'm not, nah, I'm
Yeah.
cool. And he sat there and burned and I was like, I gotta click off. But the video lasted for like 7 or whatever. He just burned.
Yeah, it's gonna take a long time to burn to
It'll take
death. Like,
yeah.
nigga, that shit take a while. That's why I told
And you
somebody.
may not even die from that. You may
Right.
still live, and now you got all kind of 3rd-degree burns that you got to
Ouch.
live with, and that's like you can't touch
Fill
nothing
my
or whatever.
water
Like
up
I'm
with- fill
cool.
my lungs
My
up
brother,
with
man,
I'm
water.
cool.
I really appreciate you coming by
Yeah,
the
man.
show, man. Like, yo, it's been a
course.
great
I
conversation.
told you I was gonna
man.
come through.
Hey, I really appreciate
know what
you.
I'm
You
saying?
followed through. He,
I was
hey,
like, I gotta
he
come
texted
through.
me. He's like, yo, we still on
That's
Sunday?
what's up.
That's what's up,
You
man.
already know. Of course.
Hey,
of course.
get the people
I
your
appreciate it.
handle where they can follow you. Also, too, make sure you tune in to watch School.
Yeah,
It's
schooled on ABC Wednesday nights and right after the Goldbergs. And
This nigga done hit network, boy. Y'all ain't playing.
That's why it was hard to get him in here. That nigga's like,
Yeah.
podcast. I'll get to him.
No,
My
no,
publicist said I can't
Hilarious.
do shit like
we gotta
that.
get niggas in there.
Hilarious.
We gotta get niggas in there when we can do it for free right now. God damn it. So
No, it's all good. It's all good. Hyperions comes out 2020.
I'm looking
let's
for
see,
that.
Yeah,
I'm looking for
Broken
that.
Diamonds is coming out, I think, later this year. And The Bellman, I believe, is going to be 2020 as well. That's a comedy about Hotel Bellman. And that's going to be next year. Or it might even be late this year, going into next year. And they can find me at McFons, like McRib. You know what I'm saying?
McFons.
MCPHONZ McFons.
McFine.
That's what's up, man.
At McFons.
Again, we really do appreciate you dropping through. This has been another episode of Barbershop Talk Like This. I'm your host, Trey the Barber.
This the
This
other
is
host,
the whole
Kush.
Dice the bar.
Nigga, you on the phone. You
Yeah, you
speak
supposed to go
third.
last, Dice.
You on the phone, nigga. Know your role.
And my man,
Listen,
Alphonso McAuley.
Whatever, nigga.
and we out this bitch.
We ain't even hear what you
Peace.
said. nigga.
Peace.
That nigga say,